Welcome to today's lesson. You will need your notebook for notes and a pen or a pencil. Please gather those materials now. Today we're going to talk about scatter plots and line of best fit. A scatter plot is just a graph with a lot of points. So let's look at this. Suppose we looked at the number of years worked compared to annual salaries for employees of a certain company. And this is the same company, and we got these results. You don't have to copy this down. Is there a relationship right now? Can you see a relationship? It's kind of hard to see a relationship because everything doesn't go in the same order or it's not all together. But there is a way to actually see if there is a relationship. And that's to graph them in what's called a scatter plot. And a scatter plot is when you have a lot of data that you put in a graph. So looking at this in a scatter plot, does it now look like there's actually a correlation? Kind of. So that takes us to scatter plots. Scatter plots have three different types of what's called correlation. A correlation is a pattern. We have positive correlations and we have negative correlations. A positive correlation is when it increases and it creates an uphill pattern. A negative correlation is when it decreases or creates a downhill pattern. Pause and copy those two correlations down. Now we also have something called the strength of a correlation. A correlation that have groups tightly together with their points is called a strong correlation. And when you have the points more spread out, we have a weaker correlation. And then our last correlation is if the points are all spread out, we have the, what is called a no correlation. Go ahead and hit pause and copy those down. All right, so if you look at this first graph, this is a positive, strong correlation. Now, this one, the points are more spread out, but they're still in a positive trend. So this would still be a positive correlation, but it would be weak. This one right here is a strong negative correlation. And then this one right here is no correlation. So I want you to just give me a brief description in your notes what each one is. Copy those down so you'll know what those look like. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is line of best fit. And a line of best fit, or a trend line, is when you approximate a line in your pattern of data. This is just a line that's close to all the points. Doesn't mean that it's going to connect all the points. It just goes through most of the points. Actually, copy that down. So here is our original graph with the line of best fit. You'll notice that these dots are still on the outside. That's okay. Looking at this, is this a strong correlation or is this a weak correlation? It's strong. Does anyone know what these little points out here are called? They're called outliers. All right, so let's take a look at this one. First of all, tell me what type of correlation this is. It's a negative, strong. And if I were to sketch a line of best fit, it would be right about there. Is it perfect? No. Is it exact? No. So, if you had to estimate what the equation of this line would be, what would it be? So the first thing you're going to do is find out the y-axis. The y-axis crosses about the 2, so it's going to be 2. And the slope, let's go up 2 over 2. So the slope is about 2 over 2, which is 1, so the equation would be y equals x plus 2. They're not all going to be easy, and most of the time you're going to be given the line, the equation, and you're told to match the line to it. All right, so here's our summary. You can draw conclusions about the correlation. You can connect it to algebra by line of best fit. Go ahead and take your quiz next.